which is OpenAI.
Yes.
So in the AI bit, does Azure support developing of solutions which are going to help drive artificial intelligence?
Okay. Yeah, they definitely do, and Microsoft had some of these solutions even before now. ChatGPT opened the whole conversation for everyone and brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
For data scientists out there, of course, I'm sure you guys have already heard of Azure Machine Learning, which is a platform that gives you end-to-end service or pipelines that you can use to create or develop your models. You would be able to train your models and deploy them as well for use. But aside from that, they also have other things that they have actually employed or rather introduced that you can use. Other than Azure ML, what the other solutions that they actually have is when you start to look at use case specific solutions. For example, in healthcare, for example, they have something they called a health bot, for example.
Yeah.
So if a hospital wanted to have this solution, they can have it. So basically these are bots that have been created to, number one, make the processes efficient, but at the same time reduce on their operational costs.
Yeah.
So think of a hospital setup. If you have to go in, you have to queue. Someone will have to ask you, who are you going to see? And then once you're done with that part, then you would have to go speak to a nurse again, would have to ask you a couple of questions just to evaluate your symptoms or take your pressure before you actually see a doctor. So to reduce that process, then some of the things that the health bot does is to be able to, if it has been deployed, of course, then I am keying in what are some of my symptoms. Then you will be able to, if I'm within the hospital setup, you would be able to do a triage process for me and redirect me on which queue I should join, for example. Where do I need to go? For an already sophisticated hospital, of course, I'm assuming they would have systems in place where I would have already registered my details and all that. And the good thing with some of these frameworks is that while Microsoft is developing these solutions, they have taken into consideration of the compliance regulations based on the on healthcare policies that they have to comply with, which is HIPAA. So the health board is definitely compliant with that. And I remember at my workplace when COVID happened, this was one of the solutions that we were actually able to leverage to build a self-assessment board. For initially when COVID started, we all didn't know what it was, what symptoms, where do I need to go, what do I need to do. So one of the solutions that we developed was a self-assessment board where I could go in and basically just have a conversation and see if I've been able to travel, have I been exposed to someone with COVID, and if all the symptoms that I have seem to check out, then it will be able to give me the nearest facilities that I need to go to, but at the same time some of the recommendations by WHO that you need to consider in terms of self-care for you to be able to take care of yourself during that period.
All right. Oh, thank you for that breakdown and example. I think that drives the point home very clearly. So how does one get started? Because clearly Microsoft, it has a lot. You need to explore further and find out what works best for you, right? So how does one get started with the licensing and all that?
It's very simple. So one of the things that you have to do, you just have to go to the Azure website. You would be able to create an account. Now the beautiful thing after you've created an account is you would get 200 credits, which is an equivalent of $200 for you to get started, which means if you have to get any services that are paid for, they would be paying the first $200 for you. But they do also have some free services which are free for a lifetime, and they also have tiered ones whereby they are free for a limited time or depending on the limits on the usage. So they are metered, or you can, if you prefer, you can call it a free trial for a specific period of time. So I'd advise people to go check it out and see what they can try their hands on.
Right. So Becky, you and I work together in this amazing company, which happens to be a Microsoft called Data and AI Solutions Partner. What are some of the services that we offer to the people out there, individuals and corporates, that are aligned with this topic of discussion, which is Microsoft Azure and the resources that one can utilize?
So at Pathways Technologies, we are a leader in the data technology and innovation space. And through that, Microsoft is one of our partners that powers our technology infrastructure that we use in implementing or even developing some of these solutions.
Yes.
So one of our core businesses is around the business intelligence data science space.
Yes.
And our primary infrastructure, of course, aside from our other partners, the likes of AWS, we're also leveraging Microsoft heavily in some of our solutions. We also offer training as well, so which is one of the things that we do, and most of our trainings are curated in partnership with Microsoft, where they get to train our team to be able to deliver these trainings to the rest of the continent as well. We also have an advisory unit where we work with different organizations, including non-profits, non-governmental institutions, and for-profit institutions as well, across different industries, where we're able to look at their digital transformation journey, starting from the word get go in terms of, have they started this journey, and if not, are they ready? So how do we work with them to make sure that they are ready for this process? But at the same time, what are some of the steps that they have to go through in order to achieve the vision of where they envision to be in terms of their digital transformation, but also by extension offering great value to the different customers that they serve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any additional points that we might have happened to forget? I know there's so much to cover.
If I bring all those points, I think this episode might last into a 7-series podcast.
Someone sponsor. Microsoft, please sponsor us and we talk about you all day. Anyway, that is on a light note. Anything else you want to conclude with as we finish?
What I'd probably say in conclusion to this is, I think the world has progressed, and I know we are past COVID, but COVID opened a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities in terms of digital transformation. In fact, it accelerated that process of digital transformation. Organizations have embraced what that means, and we've seen a lot of organizations transitioning from on-premise solutions to cloud solutions, mainly because of the ability to be able to scale a lot faster, for them to be able to actually manage costs. Because again, having an on-premise data center can be quite a lot in terms of the expenses that you have to put into managing that place. So it's high time that most organizations, or all organizations, adopted cloud and be able to look at the innovations that they can do. The world is changing very fast. We're all scared of AI, but at the same time, we are all excited about it and the capabilities that it has. So let's embrace it and see what are some of the things that we can do, not just to make a profit out of it, but to create an impact and change the world for the better.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Becky, for enlightening us in regards to resources that people can make use of while dealing with Microsoft Azure. We've all had cloud is the way to go, and so for that, embrace it. Well, see you in the next episode. Bye.